like a boss.
What's up, ladies? This is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0, and today I have a treat for you guys, and this is one of my favorite videos I've ever had to break down. And to be honest with you, it was for many reasons. And so today we're going to be breaking down Marilyn Monroe, and the reason why I love how she is and how she's able to seduce is because of her ability to do it in an effortless fashion. Mind you, Marilyn Monroe was able to seduce JFK. So today we're going to break down what in her got the attention of a man so powerful such as John F. Kennedy. What in her made other men literally go crazy for her, and things that you can do that you could definitely emulate if you just follow these steps and follow these tips. Don't forget to comment and subscribe because you guys are gonna like it. Share it, and also follow me on social media. And if you guys want to buy the book, The Art of Seduction, I have the link on the description below. All right, so let's get started. The thing about Marilyn Monroe was that she was able to get away with things that at the time most women would dream of. If most women would have done what she would have done, they would have been ridiculed and socially put to shame, you know. But she learned the secret to being sexual and at the same time be respected, revered, and admired by all men and females included. So in this video, we're gonna learn how to emulate that. We're gonna learn how to emanate that sexual aura without putting any effort into it. And also understand this: despite what she says, her charm took work. Okay, and she just kept it hidden. Like, she just never said how much work it took to actually be like she is today, like she was at the time. All right, so in reality, you're not just born with this. You work on it. All right, if you want to create that mythical aura, the mythical sexual aura, you have to actually proactively work on it. And because if you do, what's gonna happen is that it's gonna become unconscious, automatic. You know, no matter what she did, she emanated that sexual aura. Okay, so and the thing is that what makes the difference is the unconscious element, the subtleness. In other words, it must not be forced. It cannot be seen as though you're really trying. So we're going to be using footages in order to explain to you these concepts so that you guys can have a better visual representation of what I'm trying to communicate to you guys. Okay, so let's start talking about her personality. She is what Robert Greene would call the Siren.
The Siren is the most ancient seductress of them all. Her prototype is the goddess Aphrodite. It is her nature to have a mythic quality about her. But do not imagine she is a thing of the past or of legend and history. She represents a powerful male fantasy of a highly sexual, supremely confident, alluring female offering endless pleasure and a bit of danger.
So in reality, every man's type is a siren. And it's a dangerous quality to have because you literally have the control of most men. I mean, think about it. She attracted Joe DiMaggio. Okay, she attracted Arthur Miller to such a point that he couldn't write many years after being with her. And she also attracted Kennedy, like we said earlier. So what can you do? What must a siren do in order to emanate that aura that all men want in a woman? First of all, it all starts with full acceptance of who you are and accepting the taboo, embracing the sexuality. Because remember, for most women at the time, even today, embracing sexuality is in a way frowned upon. Not anymore as much as it used to, but it's frowned upon. Here's a video of Marilyn Monroe talking about sexuality, and notice her mentality and how she embraces it rather than shuns it out. She brings it closer to her. Let's watch.
See, that's the trouble. Sex symbol becomes a thing. Well, and you just hate to be a thing. Actually, if I'm going to be a symbol of something, I'd rather have it sex than some other thing they got. Where a lot of them miss the boat. These are just some things I've observed. It's a pity so many people despise and crush this natural gift. Because art comes from that real art, everything.
So, as we see, she can easily see how there's potential in the gift of sexuality, the natural sexuality that women emanate. But a lot of women suppress it because of fear of being judged, fear of what others are going to think of you. So the first step comes with the mentality. It's fully accepting everything of who you are. That goes from the negative to the positive, to even the taboo, in addition to having that sexual aura. comes having an enhanced presence. This is what Robert Greene talks about this. He says, all a woman needs to turn this around is to create the illusion that she offers such variety and adventure. A man is easily deceived by appearances. He has weakness for the visual. Create a physical presence of a siren, heightened sexual lord mixed with regal and theatrical manner, and he is trapped. He cannot grow bored with you, yet he cannot discard you. Keep up distractions and never let him see who you really are. He will follow you until he drowns. So what really you have to do is enhance your appearance. You see, keep in mind that Marilyn Monroe was more about the appearance, the aura, rather than reality. Okay, because men, they don't want reality. We all want to escape reality. We want an illusion. We want a fantasy. We want a dream. And so when you become that figment of our imagination, our figment of our desires, the embodiment of our fantasies, men are just going to want to be around you. Okay, so and the beautiful thing about this is that in order for this to work, you have to have a hint of innocence.
The siren must have an insinuating voice that hints at the erotic, more often subliminally than overtly.
I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but...
Almost everyone who met Cleopatra commented on her delightful, sweet-sounding voice, which had a mesmerizing quality. The siren never speaks quickly, aggressively, or at a high pitch. Her voice is calm and unhurried, as if she had never quite woken up or left her bed.
The innocence made men love her. It made men want to nurture her. It made men want to make her feel better, almost as though they're the fatherly figure, and she's the victim. You see? So let me show you a video of how her innocence allowed men to actually want to chase her. Okay? Let me show you.
Yes? What is it?
I'm terribly sorry to bother you, but I forgot the key to my front door, so I had to ring your bell. I feel so silly.
It's perfectly all right. Anytime. Anything else I can do for you?
Yes, would you mind pressing it again?
Press what?
The button. My fan's caught in the door.
Oh. Oh, of course.
Thank you.
Do you live in our building?
Yes, in the Kaufman's apartment. I took it for the summer while they were away in Europe.
Well, isn't that nice? I know you'll be very happy here. It's a very charming little building. Very quiet. No dogs, no children. Just two interior decorators, and you, and of course me.
You all right?
Oh, sure. Fine, fine.
Well, good night.
And good night.
Now, how do you remove the sluttiness, and the whoreness behind being sexual? Because that's a problem. Women fear being sexual because of being judged. It's simple. You know, we talked about it. It's very simple. Vulnerability and innocence. Okay? This gives the guy an illusion that he is controlling you as the father figure, when in reality, you're the one that's controlling the dynamics. So I think that's a quote from Robert Greene's book. So in a way, you act as though you need help. You act as though you don't know what's going on, almost as though you're a victim to circumstance, and you let the guy pick you up and save the day. But you're doing it with a slight smile, with a little smirk, knowing what's going on, knowing that at any second you can remove those dynamics and he's gonna be the one chasing you, and you're the one who's controlling him because you never really emotionally invested into the interaction. Now that we know that, how do you display innocence? How do you portray that? It starts with two things. Well, let's start with one, the voice, okay? And I quote from Robert Greene's book, Marilyn Monroe was born with her breathy, childlike voice, but she learned how to lower it and make it truly seductive. The siren must never speak quickly, aggressively, or in a high pitch. Your voice should remain calm and unhurried, almost as though you never really woken up or left your bed. So in a way, you're always in control of your voice. You're trying to remain at an equilibrium. No matter what happens, you remain calm and centered. You see, so that gives you that innocent aura, the hi, how are you? It really is music to man's ear. Now, another part is that you want to come across as though you don't know what you're doing. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm the weak one. Help me out. You see, you heard of that dumb blonde analogy? Kind of like that, but not that dumb. Okay, you're doing it consciously. You're not being dumb because you're dumb. You're acting dumb just to play on the dynamics, just to allow him to chase. You see, so you're proactively doing this, not reactively doing it. You know, because if you're dumb, you're just a dumbass. You can't help it. So pretty much the key is to have that schoolgirl innocence. Okay, it'll ooze sexuality while maintaining an air of innocence. Remember, without the innocence, you're a motherfucking whore. No, I'm kidding, but seriously though, that's how it's gonna come across. And also, adding that tad bit of innocence adds an element of danger. You see, appear forbidden and wrong. Men are rational and repressed, so by bringing them out of that little shell of rationality and make him say to himself, what am I doing? Oh my goodness, this is wrong, consciously or unconsciously, because unconsciously he could think that you're a child and and he's the daddy. So unconsciously it has that forbidden air to it that gives it that extra spice to the interaction. Okay, so now another important aspect is the dressing and the way you look. So clothing is how you create the goddess effect. Remember, you want to represent a figment of the man's imagination. So you use clothing in order to create that and masquerade who you really are. So, and this is what Robert Greene says.
The most important element for an aspiring siren is always the physical, the siren's main instrument of power. Physical qualities, a scent, a heightened femininity evoked through makeup or through elaborate or seductive clothing, act all the more powerfully on men because they have no meaning.
So in a way, you want to find that sex symbol that men want and become a representation of that in real life. Let me show you an additional quote that Robert Greene says in his book, The Art of Seduction.
The key? Everything must dazzle, but must also be harmonious so that no single ornament draws attention. Your presence must be charged, larger than life, a fantasy come true. Ornament is used to cast a spell and distract. The siren can also use clothing to hint at the sexual, at times overtly, but more often by suggesting it rather than screaming it. That would make you seem manipulative.
In other words, play into the hot stereotypes. You see, now you may be seeing above me a video of before and after celebrities, and you're gonna see how the difference is not in who they are, maybe, but is in their appearance. You see, so by just simply looking at the images before and after, you can make distinctual predictions of who they are and how the characteristics are. They kind of like emanate an aura. You see, and that's all from how you look, all from how you groom yourself. So you could definitely dictate it by simply being proactive about it and knowing what you're doing. Don't just do it randomly. Okay, this is an art, and the reason why most people don't get good is because the masters hide the effort behind the art. There's a lot of effort to this. They just make it look effortless. I'm gonna let Robert Greene elaborate on this a little bit more because I love the way he talks about it.
Neither Cleopatra nor Marilyn Monroe, the two greatest sirens in history, were known for their beautiful faces. Although a smile and an inviting look are infinitely seductive, they must never dominate your appearance. They are too obvious and direct. The siren must stimulate a generalized desire, and the best way to do this is by creating an overall impression that is both distracting and alluring. It is not one particular trait, but a combination of qualities.
So remember, it's the illusion that men want and not the reality. You know, men are in reality in their daily lives, thinking about numbers, thinking about this, thinking about that. You want to send them to a fantasy. Okay, now let me show you what I mean by dressing in a way that becomes a man's fantasy. Let me show you a video of Marilyn Monroe with she looks amazing. My goodness in heaven, she looks fucking hot. Let me show you how she looks.
Please, dear.
Just look at her. Like it looks like something out of a dream. Kind of like a goddess, Egyptian look. And that's what she's doing. Now, if she would have dressed like a normal person, my Lord in heaven, she fucking, I think she's the cause of why people smoke.
It breaks me.
You see, it's almost as though she is unraveled by her sexual emotions that she just can't resist.
Because now I'm going to take you in my arms.
She's the innocent girl.
Very quickly.
She doesn't know what's going on. Do whatever you want with me. You see, she's asking, she's provoking him, but in reality, if he feels as though he's the one taking control, but it's her. She knows what she's doing. She's becoming the figment of his imagination in real life. And that makes a man want you, because when a man wants to escape reality, he'll come to you. So in other words, you want to seduce your target physically and auditorily. You see? So in addition to all of this, make your target feel a mix of emotions, from exotic pleasure to the desire to reform and tame her. The more they stay in an attempt to tame you, the deeper they are in your web. But in order for you to have that desire, in order for you to give men the desire to tame you, you have to give the air of innocence, the air of sexuality, and above all, the air that I don't need you and that I have other people around me that want me.
Create such fear by suddenly changing your moods, keeping the man off balance, occasionally intimidating him with capricious behavior.
You see, so you want to have that aura of that elusiveness. Okay, because if you don't have that elusiveness, you look too easy. He'll get bored of you. So to add that extra, to give it that long-term seduction that lasts years rather than months, you cannot be with him all the time. You got to give him space. You got to push him away, because when the more you spend time with someone, the more the more used to them you become. The more you get used to their stimulus, so that what aroused you before doesn't arouse you anymore. And that's the problem why men lose interest often. Okay, so in addition to all of those things, okay, comes the movement and how you move. Remember, this is all this is all not just one thing. This is an aura. This is an aura that brings all the little parts together and creates this big image that we're trying to get across. So Robert Greene says in his book,
The siren moves gracefully and unhurriedly. The proper gestures, movement, and demeanor for siren are like the proper voice. They hint at something exciting, stirring desire without being obvious. Your air must be languorous, as if you had all the time in the world for love and pleasure. Your gestures must have a certain ambiguity, suggesting something both innocent and erotic. Anything that cannot immediately be understood is supremely seductive, and all the more so if it permeates your manner.
So in a way, it's more moving gracefully, moving at your own pace, not talking fast, not moving too fast. It's having that chilled aura. And the thing is that this also works for men as well. I teach it in the other channel, mindfulattraction.org. But for women especially, by just moving slow, relaxing, having ambiguous gestures, saying ambiguous things, it makes a man think. And so what Marilyn Monroe managed to do was to mix all of this up into one integrated individual. And it created who she was. And her legend still lives until today, to such a point that even I myself am making a video of her. So this is pretty much how you're able to seduce and flirt like Marilyn Monroe. And this is what she did in order to capture the heart of very powerful men such as JFK. And you can also do it. You also can do it. So don't be discouraged. Take time. Don't skip the steps. Apply these techniques. So this is pretty much how it's done. Okay. Don't forget to comment. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you want me to create next, and subscribe in order to get the alert. In addition to that, click on the little bell next to subscribe. That'll give you an alert when my videos come, so that you could get it instantly on your mailbox. Okay, so click on the little bell so that you guys can get those notifications. Okay, so this is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0. Take care.